Okay, so I'm back with another accent feedback video. This time we have a very interesting case. What interested me about this clip specifically was that the other two commenters who've already replied, said that this guy's accent was either perfect, near perfect. So I wanted to give it a listen for myself, and I did some pre-listening, and it was certainly quite strong. But I think there's still some notes that I could point out, and that's what I'm here for, right? I'm nitpicker supreme. So let's jump right into it.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this recording. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to make this post and ask you guys what you think of my American accent.
Okay, so interestingly enough, I would say that the accent that you sound closest to is not what I would describe as a standard American accent. But that's not to say you don't sound like a native per se. But so let me explain what I'm talking about.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this recording.
So like when you say what's going on, so in standard American English, I would expect what's going on. But I'm kind of hearing like what's going on, what's going on.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
What's going on? And sounds like a kind of stereotypical, Brooklyn-y, New York, what are you doing? Like what's going on? Obviously it's not, that drastic, and that wasn't a great impression. But so that's something interesting that I noticed.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this recording. I don't want to
And then welcome to this recording. Okay, and then it happens again with the word "to" later on.
take too much of your time.
I think was it this one or the other one?
Recording. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to make this post and ask you guys what you think of my American.
Yeah. So when I don't want to take up too much, so I would expect to hear I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm kind of hear like to. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Recording. I don't want to take too much of your time.
To. It's quite short. I'm kind of over elongating it.
I don't want to take too much of your
To. I'm kind of taking. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I just wanted to make this post and ask you guys what you think of my American accent.
Hold on.
Guys, what you think of my American accent?
What you guys think of my American accent? What you guys?
And ask you guys what you think of my
what? And kind of in the what too, right? So it's fine to drop the T. Like, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. You don't have to say I don't know. I want to know what you think, right? So that's fine. But the way that vowel quality on the what, I'm kind of like what
you think of my.
Let's go back.
This post and ask you guys what you think of my.
Ask you guys what you think of my post. What. Yeah, it all sounds a bit New York City like, which is fine, but it's just an observation. But we'll keep going.
An accent, and I really don't know what to talk about right now. And
like also in that talk,
I really don't know what to talk about.
Talk. Instead of talk,
I really don't know what to talk about.
Talk. Kind of hearing talk instead of talk. Very subtle difference there, but slightly noticeable.
Really don't know what to talk about right now, and I've been re-recording this for like 5 times straight.
Okay, but then there are some things that sound a little funky. That straight sounds a little odd to me.
Like 5 times straight.
I'm kind of like straight. I'm over exaggerating, but
for like 5 times straight.
Straight. Okay, so that's the first thing that stands out as like, whoa, something's not quite right here. So, right. So with accent, it's kind of complicated, right? Because it's all about your goals, right? That's how I view these. That's how I review giving feedback on accents. So if you sound like a native British speaker, but you're going for an American accent, then I'm gonna say, well, you're not doing a very good job, even though you sound like a native, but you sound like the wrong kind of native, because that's not what you're shooting for, right? And I don't think you didn't specify, specifically what you're going for, and you may not even know what you're going for, which is fine. So what I tend to do is I look for consistency, right? Like, do I hear a consistent native accent here? And this straight sounds a little inconsistent with what I've been hearing, which is kind of the point I'm trying to make.
For like 5 times straight.
It sounds, I don't know your native language. I haven't snooped. Perhaps I will right now. But it sounds almost a little German to me. Oh, okay, you have nothing on your profile. Wonderful. It sounds almost German to me. The vowel lengthening. I'm not saying you're a German speaker. This is very kind of out there.
Recording this for like 5 times straight.
Straight, but the vowel there is just a little off. I would expect to hear straight, but I'm kind of hearing like 8, 8, 8, but I want 8.
For like 5 times straight.
Like for like 5 times straight, but so that's what I want here. Like for 5 times straight, if I imitate your prosody, your tone there, but I'm kind of hearing 5 times straight, 8.
Recording this
so the vowel's
for like
slightly
5
off.
times straight.
Like if I'm hearing too much like a, but I want a.
But yeah, I just wanted you guys to let me know what you think of the accent, rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
So and then here again,
rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
Rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, the way you speak is very not slangy, but there's a certain, I guess, image in my mind, so to speak, when you're speaking.
Just to let me know what you think of the accent, rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
It sounds like you're imitating certain forms of American speech in some of your phrases, but not in others, I guess. So, like in the beginning of your video, when I was talking about that whole New York thing, and then this like 1 to 10, 1 to.
What do you think of the accent, rated on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. It's almost like you have there are parts of the recording where you seem to deviate more from a standard American accent to a more specific dialect, but that's not present in the entire recording. But we'll keep going because I'm kind of, all these little videos I'm just kind of improvising, but we'll keep going.
And I'll make sure to read them all. I've made a couple posts before, and because of your tips, I was able to improve.
Okay, something funny is going on here.
I've made a couple posts before.
That sounds off to me. I'm kind of hearing before, or, but I kind of want before. I made a couple videos before, or, but I'm hearing like or. It almost sounds like you're I think it's overcompensating. It's not the right word. Hyper or something. But it's like so you're trying to learn this language, and you're like, oh, this language has this feature that my native language doesn't have. So, which in this case could be this retroflex, this rotate ruh, and then because of that, sometimes you may try to you do it a little too much. And that's kind of what I'm hearing. I'm kind of hearing an over emphasis on the R. At least mentally, that's what I think is happening.
I made a couple posts before.
I'm kind of hearing before, but I just want before. You don't have to put the vocal fry that I'm doing. You can say before. I'm still doing vocal fry. Fuck. Well, don't worry about that. But yeah, you don't need the vocal fry. I just expect a little less emphasis on the R.
And because of your tips, I was able to improve.
And also on that T, I'm kind of feeling like tips.
Because of your tips, I was
tips. Because of your tips. So there's a slight vowel problem.
And because of your tips, I was
tips. Because of your tips. Because your and there are some. Here's the thing. In isolation, if I were to take like every phrase of what you're saying, there's very like a lot of it. Like if I just take like 5 words in a string of 5 words, so like a 3-second clip of your speech, and I were to listen to it, I'd be like, okay, this sounds fine. Because I'm pretty sure there are some variations of American English where like the way you're saying tips could be acceptable, but it's just not quite consistent with what's going on. So I'd expect from standard American English, tips. I want tips, so the vowel's slightly wrong, and the consonant.
Because of your tips, I was
tips. I'm almost hearing it sounds like the place of articulation, so where your tongue is, making that stop, that push, that plosive. It's almost, I think, too far back in the mouth. I expect that maybe slightly further forward. It's making it sound a little, not weak per se, but like I want ta, but I'm kind of hearing like ta, tips, but I want tips.
was able to improve.
And also on that improve, something funny with the vowels going
Your
on.
tips, I was able to improve.
Improve. I'm kind of hearing oh, but I want improve. Ooh, improve. And again, like I'm sure there are some variations of English, of American English, where that would be fine.
Your tips, I was able to improve. And, there's always room for improvement. So that's what I'm trying to achieve with this recording.
Yeah, so like here,
For improvement. So that's what I'm trying to achieve.
that's what I'm trying to achieve. That trying to is say very common in African American vernacular English, or often sometimes called Ebonics, whatever you want to call it. So which is fine, right? Because that is a native variation of English, so to speak. And there are parts of your recording that are consistent with that. So, but if you are trying to speak sort of like standard American, which may not be your goal, and is not necessarily a good or bad goal, so that kind of stands out to me. So just to point that out.
There's room for improvement. So that's what I'm trying to achieve with this recording. Looking forward to your feedback, and I'll make a follow-up post trying to implement your tips on my speech, and then you guys will be the judge if I improved or not. But yeah.
Okay, and also on that, like, not.
And then you guys will be the judge if I improved or not.
So I'm kind of feeling like not, which is definitely acceptable in some variations, but not in standard American English. I want not instead of this not. Like, again, it sounds very like New York, like not, like, what are you doing? I do not want that. Not a great impression, but I hope you get the point. Not. I'm kind of hearing not, but I want not.
But yeah, once again, thank you very much for listening, and looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah, looking forward to talking to you. It's very, I want to say non-standard. I don't, people, okay, so allow me to sum up everything I've said. So, a person who perhaps is not terribly familiar with dialectal variation or linguistics might say that parts of your speech sound like slang, or they might sound informal, which is not the terms I prefer to use. So here's my point. It sounds like you're very good with imitation. You're clearly a very advanced speaker, one of the more advanced people that I've listened to, and I listen to quite a lot of people here. So you're definitely very good. So let me get that out of the way. But, of course, you gain nothing if I just tell you I can't hear anything wrong, right? So I'm trying to point out everything that I can hear. So it sounds like you take in a lot of American media, and if this is all, assumption, of course, but it sounds like you take in a lot of American media, and there are parts of that media that you've incorporated into your speech. Like, you've heard, native speakers speaking in a certain way, and you've imitated some of what they're doing, and it sounds very good. The imitation's quite good. However, with that being said, it sounds like you're kind of influenced by like an amalgam of various variants of American English, such that your accent doesn't sound completely consistent. Sometimes I'm hearing like influences of like a New York accent. Sometimes I'm hearing other variations. So it's all kind of like jumbled in there. But it's not that noticeable, especially to somebody who's not terribly familiar with all this stuff. And as you already seen from the other two commenters, right, who I don't know if they're native English speakers, but you can definitely fool a lot of people. So, good for you. Good on you. So here's what I would say. I would say that if your goal is to speak like a standard American, somebody you'd expect to hear, I don't want to say a news broadcaster, because I don't quite like that, but because I feel like they kind of speak differently than your average person. But yeah, if you want to go for the most like standard, typical kind of dictionary-esque type of speech, you should try to eliminate, I guess, there are aspects of your accent that I would alter, which I think I've pointed out. But that may not, that may very well not be your goal. Because at the end of the day, everybody has their own idiolect, right? Everybody speaks in their own way. And in reality, there is no like standard American because we all speak differently, blah, blah, blah. But so I'm hoping that my goal, as always, is to help people accomplish their goals. And I hope that I've kind of painted at least some kind of picture for you, and you're going to be able to use that information productively. This one was definitely one of my more convoluted videos, but there was a lot to kind of talk about here. Kind of a unique situation. Usually I'm kind of harping on about the same mistakes that people make, but here overall you seem pretty good. There were some words that sounded, how do I say this? Like, they sounded like actual mistakes in a sense. Because, for example, there were times where it sounded like you were doing a good imitation intentionally of a non-standard variant of English, a variant of American English. Like, it sounded like you were intentionally doing these imitations. And there were some times where it sounded like there were artifacts of your native language poking in. And those are the situations I try to point out, like the parts with the R. Like, that didn't sound like intentional to me. I suspect it wasn't intentional. So anyways, this video is already getting too long, so I'm going to end it here. But thank you for listening. I hope this is helpful. And good luck out there.